Hi everyone, I'm still Dan Aubuchon, and welcome back to the Joy of Tennis Teaching. A couple of topics today. This week I had the pleasure of speaking with Jeff Koenigsberg, the owner and director of Camp Takaho, where I spent 19 very worthwhile summers. And I just wanted to bring that up because for those of you who are pursuing the work of getting new tennis coaches into the industry, one of the best ways I think we can introduce coaches into the joy of tennis teaching is by getting them jobs at summer camps. There are many summer camps all throughout the United States, and I believe Takaho is the best of them all. So if you have potential tennis coaches who are looking for summer work, you can go to the camptakaho.com website, or you can have them contact me, and I'd be glad to put them in touch with the right people. The main topic for today that I wanted to get into was about one of the real stars of the tennis teaching industry right now. I'm not sure how many of you are aware of who Craig O'Shaughnessy is. If you've been involved in following tennis at the pro level in the last 10 years or so, I'm sure you've heard the name and maybe even seen one of his TV appearances. Craig O'Shaughnessy is got an amazing company based out of Austin, Texas called Brain Game Tennis. Craig is probably the number one person, or not probably, he is the number one person in the tennis industry selling ideas and coaching on strategy. Craig has webinars, he has courses on different aspects of strategy, and I'm lucky enough to be on Craig's mailing list, so I get emails regularly with updates on what's going on with Brain Game Tennis. It's a fascinating company, and if I was still able to be teaching full-time, there is without a doubt the number one thing I would be doing would be subscribing to Craig's programs and purchasing a lot of his seminars and webinars. I was lucky enough to meet Craig when he was right out of college. Craig is an Australian. He's a very good tennis player, left-handed, but I like him anyway in spite of that obvious character flaw. And he joined Peterborough Wash International right out of Baylor University. And I wasn't involved in training Craig. I was out in the field at that time. And I'm not even sure how long Craig was with the company, a few years, I believe. But I did have the pleasure of going on one of the PBI tennis show tours with Craig, and we went around the world and had some amazing shows in Asia and the Middle East. And so I got to know Craig with all that travel time. And I've seen him throughout the years at the tennis conferences. I believe Craig is probably the top speaker today at tennis conferences, and I've learned so much from attending his seminars and watching what he's doing. Today, the only thing I'm going to leave you about Craig's program is a few of the really creative competitive drills that Craig's doing. Craig and I agree on a few things. Number one, that there should be more attacking in the game of tennis, that players should learn to go to the net more. And the other thing is that players should practice differently. The old method of hitting thousands of ground strokes is just not really the most productive way to practice in the modern game. And Craig has some great drills based on play. One of the drills that I have Scott Cameron, who you saw in the ball machine video, do regularly is a drill where you have to hold serve 3 times in a row to win the set. So you'll spin the racket, and the winner of the spin will choose to serve. No other choice in this game. And you'll serve. If you hold serve, you get to serve again. If you hold serve, you get to serve again. If you hold that time, you've won the set. But if you're broken in any one of those 3 service games, your opponent serves, and they try to hold 3 times. It's a wonderful competitive drill. Craig has many other drills based on learning to play at certain scores. So we'll have the players in the set start a game at 15, 30, or 40 love, or love 15, love 30, or love 40. So they learn how to hold serve or break serve depending on certain score situations. That's really the gist of what I wanted to say today. I just wanted to mention Craig and talk about what he does, and talk about Brain Game Tennis a little bit. This is a big 2 weeks for the desert. Today is the last day of February, and March is tennis month in the desert. When I was teaching, March was always the biggest teaching month. I know a good friend of mine who's a director at one of the bigger resorts says 30% of their annual revenue happens in these 2 to 3 weeks of March, because the big tennis tournament, the BNP, the 5th major, the Indian Wells Tennis Tournament, one of the top tournaments on the tour for men and women, is getting underway. A lot of the players are already in town. Scott's at the tournament as a hitting partner for one of the top women players this morning. And so it's an exciting time. I'm hoping for the first time in the last last 3 years to get out to the tournament, to go to see as best I can some of the tennis. And I will probably be reporting either from the tournament or on the tournament next week. If any of you are in contact with Craig O'Shaughnessy, tell him about today's YouTube video, and see if maybe he wants to be a guest on the Joy of Tennis Teaching. So a little bit scattered on the topics today, and it's an exciting time for tennis. There'll be a lot going on this month, so in the next 3 weeks, we'll be talking a little more pro tennis than usual. Thanks as always for viewing, and keep those comments coming, and see you next time on The Joy of Tennis Teaching.